past weekend during the Minecon Earth live stream, they announced a lot of stuff. I did a video yesterday on the Minecraft Dungeons announcement and trailer. I thought that was like the most significant thing to come out of the live stream, but they did announce a lot of stuff for the core game, which is probably of interest to a lot of people. So I thought I'd check that stuff out, see what they're planning to add, because it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I mentioned it briefly in yesterday's video, but I thought we'd dedicate more time to it here. So they posted this webpage where they kind of recapped what there is, and they also have a little video about things, but figured we'd check it out. So it looks like they're gonna update villages, which is pretty cool. Villagers are gonna have like more distinct looks to them, which is very helpful, because currently you have villagers that share the same skin but are different. You have like crossovers between cartographers and librarians, or like Fletchers and farmers, or what have you. They look the same from the outside, and you have to click on them and be like, oh, clicked on the wrong villagers. So at least this way, it looks like they have all the different looks here for the different kinds of villagers. So that's pretty nice, and they look more spiffy. And now we can identify librarians and hopefully more easily be able to get mending trades. I doubt that that's going to change at all, the frequency of getting mending, but at least they'll be easier to identify against a cartographer. Additionally, when it comes to villages, they're adding a new illager. Is that what I should call it? Called the pillager. God, they just perfectly. I planned that out. It's almost as if when they added the illagers a couple of years ago with the woodland mansions and all that, they were just waiting to be able to implement something called a pillager, and it would stick with the naming scheme, and it would also be something that attacks villages. And I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but they have the pillagers, which look like the illagers from the Woodland Mansion, but then they've got this big creature thing that they're calling the Beast, and they have crossbows, and they'll attack your villages, so now you don't only have to worry about zombies, but you also have to worry about them. And I'm kind of happy that my hardcore series took place before they were added, because I feel like I'd be in trouble, but who knows? Maybe if you wall off a village, if that's where you're making your home, you'll be able to protect it, but I don't know, maybe the Beast can destroy blocks? That would be a heck of a thing to have to deal with, wouldn't it? I can only speculate, but the thing looks pretty gnarly. It looks like something that would be able to break down a wall of cobblestone or something like that. Maybe it can break down certain blocks and not others. You're also going to be able to craft the crossbows that the pillagers have, and it says in the text here that the reload is going to be slower than using a bow, but there are enchantments that allow you to like at least shoot off multiple shots kind of in sequence. And so that'll be helpful probably. And then there's some enchantment that they're not revealing yet that's super top secret and all that stuff. And then there's a fast load. So I guess if you combined, hopefully you can combine fast reload and multi-shot, and then you're able to just like fire a bunch, and hopefully it does more damage. I don't know if there are any damage enchants you can do as well, but I assume like you'll have the power enchant that you can put on the crossbow. Just the same as you can do with a regular bow. Who knows if infinity will be a thing as well. There's also an interesting clip though in the crossbow bit in the recap video that they displayed where you can shoot a firework, it looks like. So if you have a firework in your offhand and you have a crossbow, it'll shoot the firework. I don't know if you have to not have arrows in your inventory for that to work, but that was kind of interesting. I don't know what the use is for that, but it's a thing that I guess you can do if you're looking to shoot off fireworks more in a direction of your choosing versus it just going straight up from where you deploy the thing. So another nifty thing about the crossbows. They're also going to change up even more so the way villages look, depending upon like the biomes. They've already done that slightly so far, but I guess it's going to be even more distinct, so that should be cool. And I think the villager outfits are going to go along with that as well. Depending upon what the biome is, the villagers will also kind of go with that. And then they're also, I didn't see any footage of this, maybe I missed it, or maybe it just wasn't out there, but they're adding scaffolding, which should be amazing for building in survival, at least. Obviously you don't really need it in creative mode. They're adding bamboo, and you're going to be able to make scaffolding out of the bamboo. And I'm curious like how the scaffolding is going to work. Is it going to be a block that you can actually place in midair, and it'll be able to, you can destroy it with a punch with no tool in just one hit? Because I assume that would be like the most useful way to do it. Or maybe it's something where like in SevTech, there's a scaffolding block where as you continue to right click on one single block, it'll keep like adding to the edge of that row of scaffolding. So you can just click in the same place, but it'll keep adding and extending the scaffolding out rather than you having to shift, place it, shift over a little more, place it. So that'll be interesting to see, but I couldn't find anything on the mechanics for that, but maybe I missed it. I'm not really sure. Along with the bamboo though, they're adding in pandas. It looks like the natural spawning area is gonna be jungles. I'm not sure if that's where pandas naturally reside, but that seems to be from the little video clip they showed where the pandas are gonna be. I don't know if pandas will be able to be made pets. I have no clue. There wasn't really anything elaborated more, or if they'll be aggressive and hurt you. I assume they'll be neutral probably, like they'll just chill, and then if you punch them, they'll go after you, but they probably eat bamboo. I bet you can like tame them with bamboo, or maybe you can breed them with bamboo. Anyway, that's cool though. So we'll have polar bears, we'll have panda bears. I don't know what other kind of bears there are gonna be. Barely enough. They should add more bears. Sounds good. Supposedly more cats being added as well. I don't know if that just means more skins for tamed ocelots or what, but that's just a thing that they've mentioned too. Obviously, as for the video I uploaded yesterday, brand new game, Minecraft Dungeons. If you want to look into that a little bit more rather than me just repeating myself, feel free to check out that video. But that seems to be a pretty big thing. They're expanding Minecraft into multiple games. Should be interesting. Looks like they're adding some new API stuff to make it easier to add new entities, new mobs to the game, animate them, set up particles, things like that. Complicated stuff, at least for my small brain, that I probably won't be playing around with too much, but it exists, and maybe that's of interest to those of you who are more on the modding side of things. And I'll probably look forward to playing some of that stuff, but probably not making it myself. Finally, they did this whole voting thing on what biome people wanted to have them update next. It was between desert, savanna, and taiga, and there were Twitter polls. They voted on 3 first. It got narrowed down to, I think, savanna and taiga, and then taiga won. So they're going to be updating that biome. From the video, it looks like a couple ideas that they had were berries and foxes. I'm hoping that a biome overhaul update will include a little bit more than just berries and foxes, but we'll see. Maybe the idea is that they'll update taiga first, then they'll move on to the others. Personally, kind of want a desert. But I guess deserts have the desert temples, whereas taiga doesn't have anything really specific to it, other than, no, jungle temples spawn in jungles, obviously. So yeah, there's nothing really specific to taigas. So I get it, but also I think deserts are cooler. I find I never really end up in the taiga biome, so probably why I was biased against it, but apparently people want to see that one updated. But I'm hoping that's just a starting point, and then they'll move on from there and kind of hit, well, at least the other two, savanna and desert, and then even more from there, because I think there's a lot of interesting things that they could probably do. There are things that they could probably apply that are updates that go into every biome. It'd be really cool if they did some kind of update to mining and like underground. They did a whole exploration update way back. What was it, like beta 0.8 or 1.8 or something like that, where they added the ravines, and since then there hasn't really been anything that's updated the underground experience, and I think that would be great. And I saw people who were wanting that to be a thing, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed, even though nothing was actually announced officially to support that idea. So anyway, we'll see what they do with the biomes though. That'll be interesting. As far as the announcements for new features though, that seemed to be most of it. Seems like a lot of the stuff will be implemented by like next year is the timeline, early next year, mid next year, I'm not entirely sure. Things are bound to change. You always have to work through bugs and stuff like that. Schedules are hard to stick to, but at least it's things that are in progress, and hopefully there will be some snapshots to play around with as they implement things. Not sure if this will all be one update like 1.14, or if it'll be like 1.14, 15, 16, several as they add different stuff, but we'll see. Excited for the new features. Should be cool. Also excited to try the new game when it comes out, but more on that in yesterday's video. So anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.